All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we are so happy and grateful for all of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see exactly what we can take advantage of in the Forex market. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions. Grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody's all set and ready to go, drop me a one in the chat and we can get this session started on what is going to be a pretty busy morning in the markets. All right, I see the ones coming in. Okay. All right. Good morning. Okay. I see a C to everybody. Who is C? Is that a new member? Who's that?
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, whoever C is, welcome. Okay. Let's jump out of here. Ryan, good morning. How are you, man?
Good morning, bro. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Been waiting on today. Ready for the
Yeah,
markets to
man.
get moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anxiously waiting.
Yeah. So busy day today, right? We see a lot of red folders going on here. So at 8:30, right? This is what the entire globe has been waiting on is the US CPI data, month over month, year over year, and core CPI. Of course, Bank of England, Governor Bailey is speaking today. Then we got for Canada, we have at 10 a.m., we have the monetary policy report and the rate statement. They're expected to hold rates, but of course, it's always about that forward guidance. So we'll see what happens and what's being said when the rate statement comes out for Canada. And then, of course, we've got the continuation, day 3 of the IMF meetings, where you have some U.S. officials in regards to growth. It's got a little bit of a more positive outlook. Some of the U.S. officials, a little bit different than the IMF, who is looking forward in regards to growth and saying that they're looking at cuts in growth overall. So, we'll continue to see how that plays out and what comes out of the IMF meetings. Of course, we got the Bank of Canada press conference at 11 o'clock. G20 meetings going on. And then we've got the FOMC meeting minutes coming out. That's going to be important in regards to the last FOMC meeting, speaking in detail in regards to what each, the Fed members thought in regards to raising rates and forward guidance. And then, of course, at 3:15, we got Governor Bailey speaking again. And then we've got at 9:30 tonight, we've got employment data coming out for Australia. So pretty busy day today. Looking forward to the volatility coming off the CPI. If we go over to trading economics, second, okay. We go over to trading economics. You can see U.S. inflation rate to slow for the 9th month. Okay, so the annual inflation rate in the U.S. likely eased for a 9th consecutive month, 9th consecutive period to 5.2% in March, the lowest since May 2021, thanks to a slowdown in the cost of food and energy, right? But we know that the Fed really likes to look at core inflation, which excludes food and energy. So you can see still the core inflation is expected to inch higher for the first time in 6 months to 5.6%. From 5.5% boosted by higher shelter costs, right? So that continues to be an issue. So a lot of the reports that I was reading expect the Fed to push rates at their next meeting by at least 25 basis points. And then we'll take a look at the forward guidance after that. So the next meeting is in May, but the market right now is pricing in at least 25 basis points at the next meeting for the Fed. But right, we'll see. Right, we'll see what the thoughts are after the CPI report. So this is what's expected. But then there's the reality of what comes out this morning at 8:30. Ryan, anything to add fundamentally? I know that's the big news for this morning, but anything you might have caught on to overnight?
No, sir. Just looking for that CPI data.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Right. So the market's kind of on pause. So I thought today we go through quickly, take a look at the US crosses, and then wait for the news to come out at 8:30. Right. And then of course we got that CAD data coming out as well. So let's do it. So if we come over and we take a look at the DXY, give me a second. So if we come to take a look at the DXY, we can see that, and my chart's jumping around a lot this morning. Okay, so we see it, right? We've been following the crown off the weekly, and we started off the week with the dollar making a push to the upside, but then we're kind of the neutral stance, right? So it could go either way based on that report. You can see here where we come on a daily, we came into resistance here, right? And we rejected. So it respected that previous level, and this is where we are, right? So kind of neutral, waiting on the market to react. We go down to the 4. You can see we just got a little bit of sideways push to it. A nice strong push up to start the week, and then we've come back down, taking back the majority of that bullish candle, and we're just moving sideways as expected, ahead of a huge fundamental report. Okay, so that's the dollar. If we come over and we take a look at our technical summary, we can see how some of the pairs we have mixed. Aussie dollar sell side, but kind of right the lower time frame. We know we've been trying to get that 382 on the 4-hour, so we can see that there's a strong buy, right? Bit of a reversal on the hourly, but overall it has been bearish. Euro USD, strong euro, just been buy side against the dollar. Okay, pound dollar for the most part, it's been strong. Okay, we take a look at the NZD USD, sell side move. Okay, neutral here on the hourly. And then, of course, we know gold has been running through the roof, right? Over $2,000 against the CAD. We've got the dollar sell side. It's going to be interesting today with the CPI and Canadian numbers coming out. And dollar Swissy sell side, right? It's been selling off. Okay, so the Swissy shows some strength, a little bit of recovery from the whole credit squeeze debacle. Seems like they have that under control. Looking at on-site deposits and things like that from the SMB. So that's been looked at as a positive compared to what it was over the last few weeks with the whole banking crisis that went on. So you see that sell side there coming into some support levels, and then we've got the UJ kind of neutral on the higher time frame, the weekly, daily, looking at a buy, and then a sell side on the hourly. So a little bit mixed. So we'll take a look at that. But those are your dollar crosses for the most part. So let's dive in and take a look at the charts. And we'll take a look at the Aussie dollar to start out. Okay. And if we come in, we'll take a look at our weekly, and we can see that we're kind of just pushing a bit sideways, right? This week, been a bit bullish. Okay. But moving sideways for the most part. We'll see that when we move to the lower time frames. So we're at 65.57 support level that it's respecting right now. If we come down to the daily, I'm just going to take this off right now. Okay. And focus in on the levels. Okay. And you can see where this support level has been respected again. Okay. So a bit of a double bottom here. We've got a stochastic on the daily in the buy zone. Okay. All right. So we see that nice swing low here, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. That's higher than the center candle low. Okay. So we're respecting that level. And if we go down to the 4, right, this has been that dollar, the Aussie dollar just bouncing around. We've never gotten that 382. Okay. So coming all the way from the top down, and this is why you see, right, on your technical summary, where it has it moving to the buy side. Okay. So we know we've been following this for quite some time. It's just been a mess ranging, but you can see here where it's respecting on the daily, that 66.24 level. And here's our 4-hour level here, is 66.90. So we'll see with the news today. Okay, it's moving sideways for the most part. We'll see if we can get it to break out above 66.90. Okay, get back to that 382. Okay, so you can see how the alignment on the Aussie dollar, sell side, neutral. We use the 5-hour on invested.com because they don't have a 4-hour here on the summary. But on the hourly, you can see it's buy side. So that's what you're seeing. Okay, so we're in a down retracement zone. We've got a down AB boundary, and we're looking for price to retrace. Okay, to the upside. Okay, so that one's up in the air. We'll see what happens with the CPI data, if it pushes it to that 382 target, or if we just continue to push lower. Any questions on the Aussie dollar?
No, sir.
All right, let's keep it moving. Take a look at the Euro USD. Okay, so we can see here, right? We've got a a crown. Okay, looking bullish, right? Left tip, right tip, respect the support at 104.80. Been pushing up ever since then. So let's take the crown off, take a look at it. Just looking at those. You can see we're pushing, trying to get back to that 110 level. Okay, trying to get back to that 110 level. So here, right, bit of a double bottom, and we've been moving long ever since on the Euro US. Okay, so it's 421 at the top level was 455. Okay, so as we move down, hey, the market just doesn't move straight up or straight down. It moves in waves, and you can see, right, how we've been pushing long. So you can see how you had the downtrend in price action from before, okay, down ABCDs, and then we got the reversal. Right. So you can see here, let me just take these off. Okay. Here is our point of U-turn. Market moves up, down, and sideways. That's it. Okay. You can see where it found that support at that monthly level was that 95.34. It's been moving up ever since off that level. Okay. And now you can see here where we're approaching, right, this outer trend line. Like so. Okay. All right, that's a clean break, right? So price finally found support, and then it's just been going long, right? So we're in a bullish ABCD wave, and we shall see what happens with the CPI today. So overall, from a daily perspective, we came in right at that 61.8, found that support, okay, at 105 level, and we've just been long, right? So we draw our uptrend line like so to the upside, come out 1 and 2 and straight through like that. Okay. So we're moving on. Right. So that's where we are. Any questions on the Euro USD from the daily chart and what we're looking at? Nope. All right, so we'll keep working our way through. And right, if you use the cloud, okay, the cloud there, okay, you can see how we've broken back above the cloud. Okay. So here we consolidated a bit, and there's our cloud break, right? We've got a bullish cloud up ahead. We've got our lagging span here, our Chico span that's up above the cloud now, okay, which lags 26 periods behind current price action, right? So that's bullish as of right now, okay? That's bullish. If, right, we come through and we'll take this off, we'll take our cloud off, and if we use like a 50 and a 200 simple, okay, moving average, right? You can see that we are above the 200. Okay, we're above the 200. We've got your golden cross from the daily, your 50 is crossing over. Okay, so all signs point to price action has been bullish on the Euro USD. All right, so that's what that looks like. So we'll just go back to default template here, and there, that's what that looks like. Okay, and here's our uptrend. There. Okay, so let's see what happens, right? Just a bit of sideways movement there. Right, see if we get a continuation. All right, so much clearer now. Okay, cool. That's good. It's good. It's good. A little bit of clarity. All right, so here we are on the 4. Okay, so just smaller waves. Right? Smaller waves overall, and you can see, right, just moving bullish. Okay? So you got a deeper correction here in this latest 4-hour wave. Okay, so if we're using the 4 and we say, okay, where's our next target from a 4-hour wave perspective? Well, we've got an H6 retracement. You can see here, as long as it doesn't take out the A, it has no choice but to go our way, and it's moving long. So if we've got an H6 retracement, right, we expect a 118 extension, okay, on that latest wave. Your lower time frames are just fractals, right? Smaller replicas of your higher time frame wave, right? But overall, that's moving in the same direction. If we put our cloud on, okay, add the cloud, okay, you can see that where it moved sideways and it broke out, but we are currently above the cloud. Right? It whipped around, okay, and then it just made that definite move to the upside. Okay? So we have to say, hey, we are bullish. Okay? We are bullish in regards to this Euro USD. Okay? Up, down, and sideways. Okay? That's long. Okay? So let's see what happens with the CPI. That comes out today. Okay? We go down to the 1. Okay? Current wave, long, right? Right off that 61.8, pushing long. Okay? So that's a bullish move. So off that 61.8, okay, back to where we are now, it's 100 pips or so. Okay? That is the Euro USD, right? So see if you have your charts in alignment, right? Those of you who are practicing, doing your top-down analysis, and let's see what happens. Okay, that's the Euro USD. Let's look at the pound dollar. Cool. If you work at it long enough, you'll get it. You'll get it. And then it just comes down to patience and risk management, right? And your trade plan. Okay. So let's start. Come back to this. Take a look at the weekly. We've been bullish since that 103, right? Just squeeze it out. Just take a look at what is going on with the price action. Is it moving up, down, or sideways? And then how does that align with our fundamental bias? Okay. So we are moving long, right? So you can see here from the very top, right? We were trending to the downside, right? Now look at what's going on. Okay. We're moving back up, right? We found that bottom, we've been reversing. Now we're into this 124.50 level again, right? So it's kind of just been in this range when you think about it, right? So here, let's take a look. Just been in the range. Okay. Back and forth. So you hear people say, oh, things are range, don't, it's tough to trade in ranges. Well, if the range is large enough, bottom to top, top to bottom. So if we come here from this low in this range, right? And even if we took it, we got 2 touches here. Even if we took it to the highest point, which is like right there, okay? You can see that overall, okay, you have a range that's been over 700 pips. We're going to trade that range. Why? Because it's going to move as it goes from bottom to top, top to bottom, okay? It's going to move in ABCD waves, right? And so this latest move, okay, that's moving in waves on the lower time frame, okay? So we move down, we come into the daily, right? You can see it, right? So these levels here, I'm going to adjust this one down there. Let's do it like that. And that's the weekly level that we broke through. I'm going to put this here just to let us know this is definitely a tough level. It broke back below that 124.50. Okay, so let's do this. We are going to clear out our 4, clean this up a bit, clear out our 1, clean that up. And we're going to move to our default chart across all time frames. So current workspace, we want all the charts to look the same. There. Clear this out. Matter of fact, let's just get rid of the 15 for now. Focus on 4 charts. And let's clear this out. Okay. So we're going to work it from the top down. So here's the range. So, and we are going to link all objects to the daily. This is what we're looking at. Okay. So we respected that 124.50. It's tough, right? At these levels. But then I poked above it. So I'm going to put this level in that. Okay. And we're going to link that down to the lower time frames. Now we can look at these lower levels. So we put in our smart support, right? Software makes it easy for you. There's a swing low. There's a swing low. There's a swing low. Okay. We've got a new one here. Right there. Okay. Link that down. Come in, put these in. Okay. Time frame. We'll take this level here. These are daily levels that we have marked in red. Don't have a support level here yet because this daily candle hasn't closed. If this daily candle closes, right, that could be our second candle to the right. This would then be a support level, right? So we move down to the 4-hour and lower charts to count that as a support, right? But that's not a daily support level just yet. Okay, could be, but we don't know yet. So we stay this. Right. So this has been the range right here that price has been playing in so far. Okay, So if we wanted to box this out, okay, this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this like this. So we touched it twice there, and that. Okay. Take that with me through the lower time frames. Yeah. So you can see how playing in this range, how we got the break. So when we came into the bottom of the range, you can see where we reversed, right? Top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top. Okay. And we finally pushed through those levels, but we come right back down in that zone. So, okay. So if we try a trend line like this,
Can't see what you're doing.
you can see where
I can't see. I'm sorry. Am I the only one out of focus? I don't see what he's doing.
can everybody see my chart?
I can see it.
Oh, okay. Then it's just me.
Yeah, maybe refresh your screen potentially.
Ah, thank you. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. All right, good deal. So that's what that looks like right now. Okay. So you could definitely trade the range, right? Because that's a large range, and you can see that as you move through that range, it's been making ABCD waves right to the top. Okay. So if you were to draw your fib, take it from your low point, oops, your low point there, and you can see how that made ABCD waves moving to the top. Now, okay, we got a 382 and we pushed back down. We didn't quite get to that D extension. We got close, we didn't. So we've come right back down in the range. So this will be interesting come CPI, right, to see what happens. If it reverses and pushes back to that extension, or if we work our way down, right? So you can see how we've broken. Okay. This trend line, right, to the downside, and we got a pullback. Okay, so it's dancing around respecting that 124.50. So it broke out of the range and came right back in it. So let's see what happens at 8:30. Any questions on that? Okay, so let me do this. Sorry, I'm missing out on something. So we come in, right? We put our support, right? Swing lows and swing highs, right? Those are just the fundamental blocks, right, of technical analysis. So there's a low there. Okay, we've already got a daily low. Right. So how we talked about how we didn't quite have that daily swing low yet, you have it on your phone. Right? So you can see here, past resistance becoming future support. Okay. Like that. Okay. Right. So let's see how things play out. We got a stochastic that's in the sell zone. Okay. But we know there's no technical structure that'll stand in the way of a strong fundamental occurrence, right? Like the CPI did. So let's see how the market reacts. Okay. So that's what that looks like. So even if you didn't use fibs or anything, right, this is what you identified a range, and this is what it looks like. Okay. So you could just play it like that if you wanted to and go from level to level. All right, here we are on the one. Okay. All right. So as you zoom in, you really see what's going on. So just think about it as, hey, as I move down to the time frames, I'm just zooming in. Okay, that's all you're doing. I'm just zooming in on the price action. This broke out of the range, back into the range, back below 120. Had a CPI, and here's a 1 hour level here. Right, see, just fractals. We zoom in, we get smaller and smaller, more granular as we go. Right. So where we caught that 4 hour level, here's a 1 hour low right there. Okay. So support, that's the next level. See, we don't have it. We don't have another swing low. Right. This is a clean move to the upside. It's a clean acceleration. Right. No major waves there. No swing lows except for right here. Any questions on that? Does that help? Hope so. Yep, I would say, and I would say you definitely want to wait because we have CPI today, so definitely more confirmation, because if it is going to move, like for example, on a move like this, okay, so this move from that this level back up was a 100 pip move, and now we're here. So if we get this price to break down. We want to see it, right? Potentially. Okay. So you've got time. The issue is with, a report like the CPI coming out today, how the market react is that could be a crazy, ridiculous move down and then a pullback, right? We've all seen those impulsive moves when you have fundamental data, right, come out and impact the market, right? So I'm a patient trader as a a money manager, right? Your first job is to preserve capital. So there's no use in playing a guessing game here, right? It's better to just, in my opinion, to just wait to see the fallout. If you miss the move to the downside and it just keeps running forever, then hey, that's just something that we missed. At some point, it's gonna correct anyway, right? So you just have to be a patient trader. Okay. Because that's what's so enticing, right? It looks good, right? And then everything can blow up. Okay, everything can blow up in your face. So that's the pound dollar. Let's go through. Take a look at the NZD USD. Okay, and we can see how right, clear these out. We'll work them, right? So this has been moving, right? You had some bullish price action, and now we corrected bearish, taking back over 86%. So let's clear it out and see what's going on. Okay. Get these charts fresh. Okay, ahead of the data. Like this, that's a 5. Take that off. Okay, and clear this out. I'll come and look at our weekly. So you can see how it's just been moving back and forth sideways. We're bearish this week, right? Moving to the downside this week. But here's 60.85. That's the weekly level. Okay. We don't have a swing high here yet, but we'll catch that going down through the lower time frames. Okay. So for weeks, we've just been moving around in this zone. Okay. So let's start to link, right? Everything down. So if we come into our technicals, we can see here NZD USD, right? It's just been, it hasn't moving sell side, right? From the weekly sell, daily sell, right? That makes sense, right? Because you can see how we've got sell side momentum. Okay. So we ended, look how high that price pushed right before the bears took over. So we ended up bearish to neutral here previous week. And now, right, we're moving bearish this week. It's just a bearish continuation. All right. So let's link it down. See here now. So you see how on a daily, on a weekly, it doesn't reflect a swing high yet, but on a daily, you have it. Okay. So we come in, we can eyeball where our swing highs are and our swing lows, but you could just use the smart trader. You can see you've got a nice zone there where price rejected. Right. So you just mark it out. Okay. before you ever get to the fibs, right, you want to be able to do this consistently. Okay, marking your levels, so important, okay, when it comes to technical analysis. So here we are, right? Okay. Moving bearish. What do we have for support? Right. We got a whole zone, okay, that we've come into because it's just choppy. Right. Now I like to use lines, right? You can use it as a zone, right? So these are very close support levels because of the consolidation. Right. But depending on how you like to see, right? The aesthetics of your chart, depending on how you like to see it, you could draw that up as a zone if you wanted to, like so, because it's never just a line, right, on a chart. Support and resistance is a zone. So if you can see things more clearly by drawing zones like that, then by all means do so. Okay. I just choose not to. No particular reason. I just like lines on the chart. So there we are. So we can pull these out now. That's where we are. So you can see where we've moved bearish and now we're into some key support levels. So if we come down to our 4, okay, we can see where price has settled in. Okay. So now I'll move from, okay, resistance back to support. Okay. And that's just homing in on this little zone, right? Because of the consolidation. So the question becomes, right? Do we eventually find buyers at this level like we did previously? Okay. So what you could do is you can start to deploy your trend lines, right? I don't like that there's sideways at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this out a little bit wider. So the top here, just to the outside of that consolidation. Okay, like that. Now, as we move down, right, with these smaller waves, you all can see, right, these swing highs, right, those stair steps. So if we come in and put our resistance in, you can see here's a level. Okay, we don't have it here yet because this 4-hour candle hasn't closed. Okay, so we don't have a swing high here. So based on the 4-hour chart, that next level is right here. Okay, so we'll take that down to the 1. Okay. Okay. Nice and easy, right? Don't make it difficult. Don't make it difficult. See, that's where we are. Okay. So if you didn't use trend lines, right? So let's go down to the 1. You may say, hey, I don't like using trend lines. I just like horizontal support and resistance. Well, smaller wave, right? I hope you guys are seeing this, right? Smaller wave. We have a defined swing high here on the 1. Okay. Mark that in orange like that. See? And you can see how this previous zone, how this was broken. See that previous low there? Okay. So it's a zone. So you say to yourself, if I'm just using horizontal support and resistance, if this is going to go bullish, I want to see a break and close above. Okay. It becomes very simple at this point, right? So you've got here when this closes out. Okay. It's kind of like this, right? So you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, if this is going to reverse, right, break, a possible retest, okay, of this zone here, right? And again, it's a line, right? So it's more, this is a line, it's more of a zone. So I'm looking for a break and a retest of the zone and then I'll move it back up. Okay. You ever slap a fib on and try to set long-term projections, right, on where price may go, right? This is still a support and resistance game. Okay. Never forget that. Okay, when we're trading. Okay. Always take it back. Right, to the fundamentals. Adjust that again. Always like to adjust the trend line if you're using it to the outside of consolidation. So, oops. Okay. So it becomes a simple game. Either we're going to reverse out and move to the upside, or we're going to break lower. Okay. You can see how we're just moving sideways. Nope, you don't. You know how to use lines and trend lines, right? That's your preference, because these are just additional confirmations, right? So trend lines what help us determine what direction, which is down. The market has been moving down. Okay. Speed and momentum and potential entries, right? So if you like to use trend lines for confirmations of possible trend reversals, okay. But you don't have to, right? There's a lot of people who don't use trend lines. Right? But you can use both. You can see here clearly, right? If this is going to move to the upside, we want to see it break the trend line and break resistance, right? Okay. Everybody follow me on that? Drop me a 1 in the chat. So that's where we are, right? Because it has been moving bearish, right? But we're coming into major support where price needs to make a decision. Okay, so if we zoom out, you can see before how it reacted. Okay. See? And that's just focusing in on that leg there, right there. You can see the larger move, right, from up top here. Okay. All right, so let's see how it plays out. That's the NZD USD. Let's take a look at the dollar CAD. Okay, so if we look at our technical analysis, right? It's been kind of neutral, right? It's a mix. Okay. We got a mix going on. So we come into, right, our weekly. Take this to the monthly chart. Okay. And we'll mark our extreme high and our extreme low. Like so. Our resistance levels. This is all the market is, everybody, from a technical perspective. No need to be scared, right? No need. Okay. Just have to know how to frame it out. Okay. How to frame the market out. All right. So let's mark our monthly resistance. This is the Euro GBP. This is always a messy. All right. Okay. right? So there's some monthly levels there. Okay. I'll just leave it like that for now. And right within the same chart, we'll get down to the weekly. Okay. Just zooming in on the price action. Weekly, we're going to use that. So take this lower one here. Okay. Remove smart support, smart resistance, link it down, right? So you can see, right, being that this is a weekly chart, we're playing within a range. Okay. You have, right, hard to see the picture if you're in the frame. You have to zoom out. Okay. You have to zoom out to see what's really going on. So let's link these down to time frames. So, okay. Like this. So you can see why, right? We're saying that we're neutral. Okay. It's a larger range. And then as of late, right, we've been moving right to the downside. Okay. Support, resistance. Okay. This will reflect on the 4-hour as a high. We don't have it yet here. Why? Because this daily candle has not closed. Okay. So we're not going to use that as a daily resistance level. Just be disciplined, right? Same thing, no matter what the pair. Take the same approach. Okay? So you can see how we've had a bearish move to the downside. So you can see on your lower time frames, right? If you spot this from the higher time frame, especially once you get this swing higher, you can see where you got key horizontal support and resistance levels. Okay. And you can see where, right, you got your breaks to the downside. So let's move into the 4. So, okay. You see you've got your levels here. See as you move down through the levels, how it's kind of mixed, right? Price needs to make some decisions. Okay. 4. Or level here. And I'll just take this out right there. Those are close. So that's where we are, just ahead of the CPI, right? So I'm focusing on the levels just ahead of major data, right? I like to do that. Okay. So here we are. started to find support. Think about it. We started. Okay. See, it's the same thing, right? Just zooming in. We're just zooming in on the price action. Okay. Zooming in, larger range, okay. And we're just playing within that range. And this is the latest move. Okay. So just wanted to show you. This is where we are. Right. So what we could do, right, is draw this horizontal. I think draw this like so. If you don't want it to be that long, extend it. There. So that's where we are on the dollar CAD, right? Just ahead of CPI. Any questions on the dollar CAD?
No, sir.
That a clear picture for everybody? Okay. All right. Again, right? We can't say it enough, right? This could really help you out visually with your spatial intelligence, right? Before you even get to your fibs, right? When you look at your trading and how it starts out, right? It's marking support and resistance levels. Okay. So the question becomes, right? Do we get back, right, to this 135.13 level? Okay. We've got a zone here. But do we get back to this 135.13 level based on the data? We'll see. Or do we correct and move lower? Right? We don't have to close there yet. Right? Do we move lower? So let's take a look at the dollar yen. Okay. We'll mark this one up real quick. Okay. Same thing over and over again. Same approach. Okay. So we can see, right? High. Okay. We can see how high this dollar yen moved, right? How it took out. This is back in 98. You can see how the dollar was just running, right? This is when you had a major monetary policy divergence. When you had the dollar hiking rates at an accelerated pace and the yen, in regards to their monetary policy, did nothing, right? They kept their ultra loose monetary policy through the whole rate hike move. So you can see how it took out, right? The previous high from 98. Okay. It's a good year. 1998. So let's put in our support and resistance levels. All right. So we already know that that's our high. Yeah. Okay. 151. And then we come through and we put in our support. like so. We'll take it down to the weekly. See where we are now, right? You see that? Okay. Got a little crown action going on there. We'll see if that holds, right? We had that drawn up previously. I just wanted to clear things out today, right? Get back to the basics. Okay. And we all can do this. We all can do this and then make decisions. Nobody on here that can't do it consistent, right? You just have to put in the work. Okay. So this is a result of this week. So we're respecting, right? We respected this 129.58 level. Okay. We talked about that last night, right? How all your currencies are making a run against that yen. Even some of your currencies that have been performing, right, weaker than normal, right? So that have been bearish, right? They're making gains. Those currencies are still making gains against the yen, right? So you can see here's a low, right? Here's a higher low that's formed. Okay. So we'll link this down to the lower time frame. We'll come in. You can see how this was a previous high. I'm going to put that back in there. It's just still dancing around that level. Let's see. Okay. And then this is a low here. So we take this down. All right, so here's our 4. That's a low. So we're dancing around. So if you come and you look at the dollar yen, right, you can see how we're neutral in the buy, right? So it's mixed, right? It's trying to make a decision. But you can see here how just take a look at what's going on currently, right? In the near term, off this last leg to the downside. Okay. You can see we're coming into the week, right? You've got some bullish momentum. Like that across the lows. So now it becomes simple, right? Do we continue to move as a result of the data, right? Do we continue to move up through this level and move to 135.10, possibly beyond, right? We don't know. Okay. We don't know quite. Do we move lower? Questions?
Where is your cloud at on here?
Kind of doing the dance.
Okay.
Kind of doing the dance ahead of the report. All right. So if we come here on the 1 hour, right, trying to figure it out. That's it, everybody. Any questions overall? Any feedback? Anything before we close out? Got 1 hour just about until the CPI data comes out. Ryan, anything to add
Very
before we
big.
finish the session?
I would say great breakdown, bro. Masterful. Other than that, man, be patient and let's see what the data says.
All right. With that being said, hey, we'll see everybody tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. Hey, look out for that data at 8:30. Remember, we also have data for Canada coming out as well. Australia later on this evening. So very, 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 very busy day today. Have a good day, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks
Have a
for
good
your time.
Thank you.
Thank